Have you just finished that epic story campaign? Or are you looking for your next multiplayer obsession? Whatever sort of gamer you are, we're here to help you find your new favorite game. Just click the chapters to check what applies for you, and we'll give you our very best recommendations. This video is brought to you by The Watchers. Let's start with all you COD fans. We've got your sights set on finding another great FPS game. If you're a fan of the historical COD games, Hell Let Loose has to be on your list. This Second World War game has meticulously recreated battlefields from around the globe, and it lets up to 100 players fight it out across them at the same time. So if realism and real tactical depth are what you look for in a shooter, grab it off Game Pass now. But if you're more about jumping straight into the fray of a tight, tense gunfight, then you really can't do better than Halo Infinite. Xbox's signature shooter just keeps getting stronger with new updates and the incredible things being crafted by the community in Forge mode. Plus, its multiplayer is totally free to play. Deathloop offers a different sort of multiplayer experience that might just be the change of pace COD diehards are looking for. Arcane's open world shooter lets you invade another player's game and hunt them down, combining firearms with supernatural powers to cause absolute carnage. It is pure schadenfreude and it's available now on Game Pass. Finally, Doom Eternal is another Game Pass title you should definitely check out if it passed you by back in 2020. Now upgraded to run just beautifully on Xbox Series X, it offers the sort of blockbusting, bombastic shooter experiences that COD's campaigns are known for. And it does it all in 4K with ray-traced effects and frame rates of up to 120 FPS. We'll have more recommendations when it comes to squeezing the most juice out of your Series X in just a minute, but first, it's story time. If you're looking to really lose yourself in a game that knows how to spin a yarn, well then look no further. Banishers Ghost of New Eden is an action RPG about the ultimate odd couple. He's a ghost hunter and she's a ghost. Can their love overcome these odds? I guess you'll just have to play it and find out. Dragon's Dogma 2 is also a third-person action RPG set in a rich fantasy world, one that specializes in emergent storytelling. You'll be wandering the realm, just minding your own business, when you find yourself embroiled in a B-plot about a goblin war or an ogre attack. These events are totally unscripted too, so you never really know where the story will take you next. One of the most moving stories in gaming just got a gorgeous remaster earlier this year, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. It features an innovative control scheme that lets you play as both siblings simultaneously as they embark on an epic quest to save their father. Expect some tears to be jerked. And for another family-oriented story that will hit you right in the feels, check out this year's Tales of Kinzera Zao, a gorgeous Metroidvania infused with African mythology. Tales of Kinzera takes the player on a journey to the underworld to reclaim their father's spirit. Then there's Baldur's Gate 3, which draws on tabletop gaming in the way that it allows the players to decide where the story goes. Depending on the choices you make, you could end up talking to a cat that thinks they're a hard-boiled detective, accidentally catapulting a gnome into the sky, or licking an aphrodisiacal spider carcass. Whether you and your buddies like to game together on the couch or from far-flung places over the internet, there are loads of great options on Xbox. If you want to spend your spare time beating your friends senseless, and really who doesn't, Multiverses has got you covered. Featuring characters from across the Warner Bros.verse, this platformer fighter is the only place you'll get to see Bugs Bunny wage war on Batman, and it's free. And if you're looking for an even more time-honored way to brutalize your buddies, and again, who isn't, Tekken 8 takes the classic arcade fighting series to dazzling new heights, with stunning visuals and a roster stacked with new and returning characters. And if you'd like to keep partying like it's 1990 something, GoldenEye 007 is available on Game Pass. That means you can enjoy one of the most beloved split-screen shooters of all time with modern controls and shiny 4K graphics. If you and your friends can't meet up in real life, then the free-to-play, free-for-all Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout is the perfect place to tumble around together. It's got tons of different courses and the option to party up together. It's slapstick gameplay absolutely guaranteed to leave you in stitches. Or how about you spend your next session together planning the perfect heist? Payday 3 is a first-person looter that will make you feel like a master criminal and is available on Game Pass. Okay, so let's say you want to play a game that looks so good it basically melts your eyes right off your face. Gears 5 is a great place to start, not only because it's one of the greatest cover shooters ever made, but Xbox Series X players can enjoy its incredible spectacle in 4K 60. Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon is like the most cinematic game of rock'em sock'em robots ever played, and Series X players can watch the bolts fly in 4K with HDR10 to make the mechanical carnage that much more colorful. If you're an anime fan, you're going to fall right in love with the incredible looking JRPG/social sim Persona 5 Royal. Whether you're battling demons or brewing up some coffee, every little movement looks sublime with the game's variable refresh rate. Alan Wake 2 is a horror game that looks unsettlingly real. Oh, okay, sometimes that's because it actually is using live action footage, but the rest of the time is a testament to how beautifully crafted this terrifying tale is, complete with ray trace shadows that make it all the more eerier. Want to see 300,000 rats? Because a Plague Tale Requiem can render 300,000 rats. Oh, and it also features some breathtaking French vistas and immersive spatial sound and stuff like that, but mostly it's about the rats. So many rats. Finally, it only makes sense that games based on James Cameron's eye-watering epic would also look pretty tasty. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora is a first-person actioner which takes players to a whole new area of the lush, luminescent planet. Played in 4K 60 on the Series X, it really is out of this world. Now, if you're looking for a game to relax with, Stardew Valley is famous for its laid-back vibes. New things just keep sprouting up in the charming farming sim too, thanks to the free updates and the game itself now being available on Game Pass. It's not the only bit of green-fingered fun available on Game Pass though. First-person puzzler Botany Manor lets you wander the grounds of a big old English mansion, figuring out how to make things grow. There's something bizarrely therapeutic about blasting dirt away, and that's exactly what you'll be doing in Power Wash Simulator, also available on Game Pass. Finally, and also on Game Pass, Spiritfarer is a cozy little existential adventure that puts you in charge of a boat to the underworld. Float around, do some fishing, and find ways to help your guests find peace before they make their final voyage. If racing games are more your speed, you'll get a ton of mileage out of F1 24. Whether you're getting stuck into the solo campaign or testing your skills online, F1 24 provides an authentic simulation of Formula 1 racing. There's more realistic racing to be found in Forza Motorsport, with over 500 cars for players to send speeding along famous courses from around the world. Then there's a slightly arcadier open world action of Forza Horizon 5, which lets you soak up some Mexican scenery while you're kicking up dust. And both games are available on Game Pass. And so is Wreckfest, which lets you abandon the rules of the road to get stuck into some demolition derby. Because honestly, driving is so much more fun when you do it really badly. Finally, there's so much cartoony kart racing fun to be had with Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled that you'd better start stocking up on Wampa Fruits now. If you're the sadomasochistic sort who loves a good Soulslike, there are plenty of great options for those too, like Remnant 1 and 2. These games blend classic Souls mechanics with gear-style third-person shooting, and they're both available on Game Pass. So is Lies of P, a dark reimagining of the Pinocchio story set in a steampunk world full of deadly automatons. Wield a range of different weapons as you put together your ideal build. Tunic is on Game Pass too, and while it might look like an adorable little animal caper, don't be fooled, this colourful Souls-like features boss fights that are every bit as unforgiving as From Software's foes. Thanks to EA Play, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members can enjoy an intergalactic spin on the Souls formula with both Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and the follow-up Survivor. Pulling off perfect parries really is even more satisfying with a lightsaber. Another Crab's Treasure offers a more accessible approach to the genre, while still providing a sturdy challenge for longtime Souls-like fans. And it's also on Game Pass, and it also lets you play as a crab. So good. Sometimes you just want a game that's not quite like anything you've ever played, and by golly does Xbox have some beautifully bizarre stuff. Available now on Game Pass, Harold Halibut is a stop-motion adventure about a spaceship stuck at the bottom of the ocean. Its mind-blowing visuals will delight Wes Anderson and Tim Burton aficionados, as will the sheer weirdness of the whole thing. What do you get when you combine pinball physics with twin-stick shooting? You get a really fun, deeply strange game like Go Mecha Ball, that's what. It's on Game Pass too. Inculinati is a game where you command an army of doodles that were left in the margins of a medieval manuscript, which bizarrely is also the setting of the narrative-driven murder mystery Pentiment. They're both great and they're both on Game Pass. In terms of pure weirdness, Genesis Noir might have them all beat. It's kind of a point-and-click adventure about a man trying to save the woman he loves. It's kind of a puzzle game and kind of a poem. It's about the Big Bang and the universe and jazz music. It's ludicrously stylish, completely unique, and available now on Game Pass. Any other recommendations you'd like to shout out? Hit the comments and shout away. This video was brought to you by The Watchers. This terrifying new movie follows Dakota Fanning's Mina, who gets stranded in a forest. She finds shelter but becomes trapped with 3 strangers and realizes she may be in even more trouble than she realized, thanks to the bizarre creatures who stalk them every night. Uncover the mysteries of who or what the Watchers are and what their purpose is when the movie comes only to cinemas on June 7th. Bye!
In my office, there's a metal box full of documents. Destroy everything you find. Watchers, they can see right through you. No human should ever come to this place.
No one leaves. That is the rule.
The Watchers, June 7th, rated PG-13.